Today, we're just gonna sit down. It's gonna kind of be podcasty. This is a video I've thought about making for years, a topic I've wanted to address, but something I didn't even know how I felt myself, so I didn't know how to talk to the internet about it. So let's just dive into it. My plastic surgery. I guess the best thing we could do is go back. I originally wanted to do a full, cinematic video to this, but I thought, you know what, sometimes I just want to sit and talk to the camera. So put this on the background, and I even thought, I was like, let's make a whole podcast episode, but I don't have podcast. And I don't know, just something about the state of the world right now, and with body positivity, body neutrality, curves changing, and just the taste of, everything just seems changing. And I just feel I finally figured out how I feel about this and what I want to do. And I feel I also have you watching me, and I talk a lot about fitness in my body, and so I feel it's fair for you guys to know as well. The pressure I felt when I first got into Instagram and the fitness world. So in my early 20s, I was trying to get into modeling, and I was doing some fashion modeling, and then I was told I had too athletic of a build. I have wide shoulders. I always had some muscle, and I was just a little too short. I was 5'7". Maybe if I was 5'9", I was not what they wanted, but they always said, why don't you get into fitness modeling? And because I had more of a muscular frame. And so I was like, you know what, let's go into this. And then also around this time, I just started getting a lot into weightlifting. My basketball career ended, and I wanted something competitive, another outlet. And I was really into weight training. The city I lived in, Edmonton, Alberta, bodybuilding was a big thing. So I kind of was like, this is a way I can be competitive, have that outlet. I can maybe get into fitness modeling, because my dream was to actually be in a Nike commercial. I know it sounds funny, but I've wanted to forever, which we'll talk more into that. But I'll do a whole video on my bodybuilding experience, but without going into that, I was always lean. Never had curves. I have a bit of a waist just because of my taperness, but I never had hips, or I never had a feminine frame. And the biggest thing is I never had boobs, ever had boobs growing up. But I never really hated that. I was always kind of just I would make fun of myself, just like how I make fun of my butt. If you guys seen, I always make fun, but I don't really care. At the end of the day, I'm fine with it. And I would always make fun, oh, I have such small boobs and that. And I'd wear push-up bras, because that was also a weird time, because it was the Victoria's Secret model era, where they were all stick thin abs, but boobs from the push-up bras. And I don't know if some had breast augmentations, but I definitely felt this pressure. And so I made some money one summer bartending, because I was a bartender for many years. And I decided, you know what, looking back, oh my God, I could have put this towards so many other smart things. I was like, no, $10,000. And instead of putting it towards tuition or just investing or into my career or anything, I was like, let's get boobs. And so I got breast implants. And the reason I've never talked about this is exactly, let me just explain my thought process and where I'm at with them and my experience. The second I got out of that surgery, I was like, what have you done? Now, first, when you first get them, they're super high. And if you notice, mine are still, I've always had perky boobs, even when they were tiny, they just sit high on my chest. It's just how I'm built. And when I first got out, first of all, they were up here. So I was mortified. I was like, this is so embarrassing. And they do fall down. And after about 6 months, they fell down, but I was still they're still up there. And suddenly, I almost just ignored it. I was in a really weird place for those couple of years. And so I just kind of pushed it away. I was like, hey, I have these. And I looked at it as such a weird way to look at your body, because I at no point looked at them. I never have gone in the mirror and be like, nice. I just said, oh yeah, they're here. This is because I wanted to get in fitness modeling. And that was the look when I got it. And I think there's a lot of YouTubers actually who I've looked at for many years who were kind of in this weird place. I'm not saying I did it because of them, but I feel the pressures they felt, I was also feeling. And it was just trickle effect all around. It was just these really jacked girls and really muscular with boobs. And that was what the fitness industry said was right. And how messed up is that, looking back, that what media was portraying as health and wellness was girls getting to such low body fat percentage that they lose all their boobs, lose all their curves, so they have to go under the knife and have any surgery is risky to get silicone things inside them. And now I'm not against plastic surgery at all. We'll talk more about that. I'm actually very much for it in many of ways. oh my God, such a hypocrite at IVF. I'm like, I'm against plastic surgery. So you got fake boobs, girl. Such a weird thing. But like I said, I was young and I was just hardworking. I was like, whatever it takes. If I need boobs, let's do it. This is like, I felt of it like career-wise. Just looking back, oh God, there's so many smarter things career. There is no career will sink or make because of boobs. So even if you're feeling that, no, especially not in this day and age. Fast forward many years, I had them and I've just had them for such a long time. It's almost a decade I've had them. And so in the last 2 or so years, I started to get some traction on YouTube and, I have a following and I love it, but it was like a weird thing getting this following and already having my boobs. Cause then like, I'll get the comments, everyone's like, are they fake? And like, I was like, oh, I don't even know what to say because I didn't like them. And so I didn't want to be like, oh, I have fake boobs. Someone's looking at my body and just from right there being like, oh, I should get them too. Because it was a complicated situation. That's why I was like, you just have to make this video. I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. I just regretted it so much for so many reasons. Then I also felt guilty because I also don't want people to be like, oh, how does she have boobs? And then there is some girls who are just blessed, like skinny girls with boobs. Like there's just those, I'm not one of them. I've been a skinny girl, I've never had boobs or curves. It's just how I am. And that's how I'm built. It's how everyone in my family is. And I think I won't even let myself accept this for a long time. So that's why I also didn't talk about it because I think I knew deep down I didn't like them. And there's many warning signs, but your ego kind of gets in the way and it's crazy how you can trick yourself. And I was like, no, like these are awesome. And yeah, honestly, got attention from guys and, look good in a lot of photos. But I think the red flag for me, and then just when I finally let myself accept it, be like, Keltie, did you make a mistake? Was when I realized I never dress to show off my boobs. Now, I know it sounds funny. It's like, maybe you're just reserved. But I mean, I have friends who have got breast augmentations and they love it. And they're like, oh no, I want to wear like a V-neck because I want to show it off. And I remember always dressing to hide my boobs. Versus when I didn't have them, I would love to show off like this little, I don't know, like when you wear the shirts like that, I used to love to wear that. And suddenly now since I've had fake boobs, which you'd think you'd want to show off more from getting plastic surgery, you get something to improve your body, I wanted to hide. And I found my style didn't reflect, like everything I wanted to wear I couldn't wear. Of course you can wear anything you want. I finally realized it's like you're dressing for the actual body you have, not this. I know breast implant illness, we'll talk about that in a second. I don't think I've ever experienced that. So that's another thing. Is it my taste is changing? Is it the taste of media? Am I being influenced? I don't know for sure, but I just know deep down the second I got them, I regretted them and I've never enjoyed having them. And especially when it becomes to sports. The biggest example I could give is before my surgery, I was able to crank out chin-ups like mad, like easily 10. Now, since then, my weight training and all that's been up and down, so that's another thing as well. But since then, like I just hate it. It is the worst feeling, in my opinion, of doing a pull-up because it's under your muscle and the incision's there and it like pull, and it's been almost a decade and I still hate it. And doing push-ups, I've learned how to like modify a push-up. So like I use a lot of this in my shoulder and it's not proper, and like my back. So I've done it so you don't feel this like compression feeling. Ugh, I hate it. And like especially doing my gymnastics series, it's been so frustrating because I can do it and there's a lot of girls who have a breast augmentation and then they still push through, but for me it's just been the worst feeling because I just feel them separate. And like at the end of the day you can't control how they're gonna look, like different surgeons are gonna have different things, but just how my body's built, like they stick out a lot on the side, which some people like, but I hate. Like I do a lot of running and that never used to happen. Now they're constantly getting pushed. And even I'll be in a workout class and I'll be wearing a sports bra and like they'll be up here and I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. Like no one look right now. At no point have I been like, they look good. A lot of people have had different experiences. A lot of people have been sick from their breast implants. A lot of people love them. And I'm just over them. I just want them out. I had this conversation with my friend a while ago and they were like, if you could have them right now, just out, would you? I'd be like, in a heartbeat, like boom, pop out. And that's the biggest thing stopping me from not getting them out is it's expensive. It's about $10,000 Canadian to get them in, about $10,000 to get them out. And I'm trying to build for a future. I have been completely self-employed for a long time. I don't have any inheritance or family. Like I love my mom, love her to death, but we grew up with very little money. Yeah, I just don't have $10,000 to be like, let's get these out. Also, I have to take time off working out and I have a fitness channel. It's been a rock and a hard place. It's easier said than done because I even remember when I was in my early 20s, just being educated enough to be like, no, I know not to do this. because of someone else, and I'm not doing this for someone else, I'm doing this for me. But deep down, you gotta do that deep work. It's really hard. You really gotta ask yourself, like, what if you could do anything? If you could see yourself anywhere in 10 years, where would you be? Before you get any plastic surgery, like, really ask that, and does your plastic surgery enhance it or not? Yeah, I felt like a hypocrite for so many years. It's crazy how we're not, even if we're aware how the media manipulates us, how you still fall into it, and just like unrealistic women's bodies that we were portrayed for so many years. And I'm not blaming the media. Like, at the end of the day, this is my choice. But that was the body type I was told I needed to succeed. I had to be ripped with boobs, which is not my body type at the end of the day. And now I'm stuck with, I threw away $10,000 for something I didn't want, and it's going to cost me $10,000 more to fix it. Also being transparent, so I've had them in for a long time. I take them out, they could sag, so I could suddenly have really saggy boobs. Maybe have to get a lift. I also don't want saggy boobs. I'm like, that would suck. So, well, I maybe just have to get a smaller implant. I don't know. I've tried to get a hold of surgeons, and the last 2 years in COVID has really opened my eyes about this. COVID hasn't really made it easy to see a doctor right now. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm sorry if I haven't been transparent. It wasn't me trying to hide. It was just more me being like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I don't know how I feel about these. Like, I got influenced into getting them, and then I hope it doesn't influence you. But at the end of the day, though, if you've looked at my body and you're like, I love how her boobs look, and that makes you want to get boobs, do it. If you truly love that look. But just realize, like, ask yourself deep down, are you getting it because you think you're going to have a YouTube channel because suddenly you have boobs and I have a YouTube channel and I have boobs? Like, it doesn't work that way, especially nowadays. I just wanted to open up, and this I just felt would be the best way to sit down and just talk to you guys, because I am so over these. I'm trying to save money right now for it. I'm also trying to not buy any tops. That's hard because I love shopping. That's another thing. None of my bras will fit. But when I do it, I promise you guys, I think it could be a cool thing to document. I do have a science background. Was what I went to school for. I think it would be really interesting. I'm trying to find a doctor who will do a lot of blood work for me here in Vancouver. It's complicated, but I think it'd be really cool to do my blood work before, right after, and a little bit, and just see how getting them out influences my body. Because like I said, I don't think I have any breast implant illness. I haven't noticed, but I'm going to fully document it, because for all I know, they've been in here so long I don't even like realize what normal feels like. Especially because when I first got them, I was on birth control, and then I went off birth control when I was, anyways, a lot of things, which I'm happy to document. So I'll be documenting that for you guys hopefully soon. If anyone out there knows a good plastic surgeon here in Vancouver or Western Canada that specializes in breast implant removal, please comment or DM me, because I'm also lost in that. I don't know who to turn to, especially there's a lot of research on like who to get for implants, but taking them out, I also still want them to look good when they're out. I still want to look pretty at the end of the day, but I also just want to look like the best version of myself. I don't want to look at what the media says I should look like, because there's a great example as well. Like, trends come and go. We could talk about the Kardashians. They've obviously been influential in this, and like they're just, whether they're influential or it's more they're popular because of this, but like there's so many different ways we could go about it. But is it the chicken or the egg kind of idea? But at the end of the day, that's been so popular for so long. It's just a very hourglass curve, and so that means like boobs and butts have kind of been in, but then all of a sudden like boobs are so in, and then they're out, and they were kind of in, and now they're out again. And like, so it's a great example of like, don't do plastic surgery because it's popular. Do it because you really want it, whether it be nose job, filler, BBLs. All like, there's all this rumor going around that the Kardashians are getting rid of their BBLs. So it's just a really good reminder with plastic surgery is don't do it to look like someone else, especially when someone else is just following a trend, because trend cycles come and go with anything. I didn't start realizing this till my late 20s when I was alive long enough to see the cycles of things. Take your parents' advice. They've seen the crazy logo mania to minimalism, to flashy, showing off your purses and your cars and your jewelry, to being like refined and secreted of it. Like, and that will forever just be a cycle. Unfortunately, I hope we're in that generation, and I think a lot of changes have happened that is a lot more accepting of diverse body types and showing diverse body types. But for the last several hundred years, especially with the formation of media, it's been skinny body, curvy body, thick body, hourglass body. Like, there's just been trend cycles of women's body, which is insane. That like a body type can be in or out. I would just give you a recommendation. If you don't have a Kardashian body, it's okay, especially nowadays. Like, you are beautiful, and we're all uniquely beautiful. Someone likes, what's the classic quote when we talk about body positivity? Like, you can be the ripest peach in the tree, but there's someone who doesn't like peaches or whatever that quote is. It's true. If you want to get plastic surgery, just know, I think a good rule of thumb is like, let's say BBL, for example. Would you still want a BBL if everyone is going around being like, everyone else has pancake butts? If everyone else has pancake butts, if all the hottest people in the world have pancake butts, if that's like the quintessential of beauty that's being portrayed, that's what's going to make your Instagram pop. If having a flat butt is going to make everybody like it, would you still want the BBL? And also like squat. Something to think of, and I wish someone had told me that, being like, Keltie, if this wasn't any career, if you were going to be a scientist, you'd be in a lab all day, would you get this? And I'd be like, no. Learn from my mistakes. I'd love to do a few more videos like this, or this is why I've thought about doing a podcast maybe one day, so we can just talk longer and just connect with you guys. Comment down below anything. I think I'm going to try and answer a bunch of these questions in a follow-up video. I'd love to hear your experiences, any questions, concerns, just anything you want to expand on, because this is my first time opening up about it, and I just think it's a really important topic, especially as just we're talking so much more about body positivity in the media, and we're talking about how insane it was 10 years ago, how people like Britney Spears were treated by the media, and with social media completely manipulating the Photoshop. It's just such a complicated topic, and from someone who did something that they've regretted so much due to it, I hope we can just open up the conversation. So I'd love to hear your guys' experiences, questions, comments, and let me know what you would love me to follow up in a future video. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry it took me so long to open up about it. It was just, I had to open up to myself about how I really felt. And I'm over these! They're so annoying! But, so here's to saving money to get anti-plastic surgery. Oh, it'd be so nice. Just to sleep on your stomach. Also, last thing I'll let you know, for anyone who's thinking of getting boobs and they're unsure, you know what happens? You sleep on your side, you sleep like this, wrinkles start to form. So you're fine when you're younger. But I've noticed that the older I've gotten, I wake up in the morning and there's just a bit of a crease. So, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But you know what it is? When you go and hang out with a dog. I don't know how to end videos like this. I'm just going to stare into great abyss. Thank you for listening. You're amazing. Hannah, go drink some water. I'm worried about your hydration levels. Have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.